at 4:30.
Breaking news at 4:30. After many guilty verdicts in the case of an East Memphis doctor, the attorney is now speaking out.
Let's take a listen.
In order to result in a conviction, needs to prove a scheme, okay? And what that doesn't mean is that we take specific procedures done by a physician and we cherry pick from a set of those procedures and then we allege that those were incorrect. This isn't the second guessing of a physician that should occur. The government must prove a scheme. And the jury's verdict here shows us that Dr. Kumar was not involved in a scheme. Why? Because they looked at thousands of procedures. They then had an expert identify 20-some patient files. From those 20-some, they chose 9. From those 9, they only got a jury to agree on a couple of them. A couple of them that were cherry-picked from a larger set. Imagine if we looked at your worst day at work in the last 10 years, and we judged that over a month-long trial. What would happen in your case, right? That's what we're facing now in America.
Now, at the end of, they tried to, of course, I think they would always do that, would try to say he needs to be detained pending sentencing. The judge denied that. How are you all feeling seeing that the judge denied and let him continue to be out until sentencing?
Yeah, that was the right choice. I mean, the prosecution tried to claim that Dr. Kumar would be sentenced to 100 years. Congress disagrees with that statement. The federal sentencing guidelines disagree with that statement. The reality is that the offenses, while every federal offense is considered a severe offense, they would never result to that amount. And I think the judge, in saying that bond will continue, is making a decision that any judge in this country would make, and also determining that Dr. Kumar should have a chance to be able to raise some of the substantial issues that he's raised before the court, before a sentence is determined. Justice is not done yet. We're at a new phase, and we intend on asserting all of our rights.
Why do you think that jurors couldn't come to a unanimous decision on 8 of those counts?
First, sitting 5 days in a relatively warm room on a beautiful day is a tough thing to do. I'm grateful that any American citizen would be able to do that. And so I don't want to sound ungrateful at all for the jury's efforts. But the fact that it took reasonable citizens to look over 46 counts, almost 50 pages of jury instructions, and try to come up with a decision tells us that we're not dealing with the types of crimes that we used to see 20 years ago. We're dealing with allegations that are so complex and so confusing that average American citizens really struggle with them. And because of that, we feel that there's some things that may not have been completely understood by the jury. And this case, from the beginning, always should have been viewed in a different circumstance. Recall, the Board of Medicine determined that Dr. Kumar didn't do anything wrong. The people who know and are supposed to govern these types of things agree with us. And we certainly will raise that on appeal as well.
Mr. Chapman, I know you said that you guys didn't get what you want, and I'm not asking you to kind of speak for Dr. Chapman.
Yeah, Dr. Kumar.
But just how is he feeling right now, not just with the 40 guilty counts, but just, kind of moving forward as well?
I'm sure he's happy to tell you.
Yeah, obviously feel very disappointed, but at the same time respect the process and also firmly believe that I served every patient like a family member. Never turned anybody away and did the right thing actually. Obviously the process of justice is, something that it's hard to understand. As far as science is concerned, we are confident we are on the right side of the scientific facts. And we intend to appeal and try to get the justice.
Now, Dr. Kumar, again, my follow-up question to that is just kind of before the actual verdict, just what was going through your mind, because it seemed like you were kind of deep in thought. Were you overwhelmed? How were you feeling in that moment?
Yeah. So obviously a lot going through my mind, It was a busy practice and, confused as to what went wrong. Always did the right thing for the patient. Patient comes in, they tell you the symptoms, and you do the best you can. And then after the fact, being analyzed in a court of law, things like that, it's obviously overwhelming.
Let me offer this really quick. It's very important to this case. A few facts are very important to this case. First, every patient.
And there you have it. Dr. Kumar and his attorney speaking. He says he was disappointed but respects the process.
Found guilty on 40 of 46 counts, so a lot more to come on that. Of course, we're continuing to monitor that development, and we'll bring you the latest right here on News Channel 3.